Hello, this is Jorunn from Norway
And Christine from Canada.
with conversations about color analysis. We'll be talking about what having your colors done means in the modern world, and with an everyday take on living with your season to choose apparel, cosmetics, and hair color to flatter and even enhance your natural coloring.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of a podcast dedicated to looking like a color insider. A podcast listing is available at chrysaliscolor.com under the Podcasts tab. For show notes, follow the title of the show from the listing to find the corresponding post. We appreciate your questions and suggestions for future topics, which can be added to the comment box. If you're thinking of sending in a question, please do. If you're asking a question, so are many other people, and the list of reader questions is already 4 or 5 shows long. And we've got other topics that we would love to introduce to you as well. So let's get your questions on the list as soon as possible. We do group them according to topic, but the sooner they're sent in, the sooner they can appear on a show. Hello and welcome. You're listening to the podcast, episode 1, the pilot episode on chrysaliscolor.com.
This is a podcast dedicated to introducing you to color as it relates to you. Our focus will have a practical orientation, which will be making the best possible shopping decisions for apparel, cosmetics, accessories, and hair color, and looking better than ever.
Without an understanding of our own colors, we might hold them apart from ourselves as we create our appearance in our everyday lives, our professional lives, and special occasions, like when we choose a wedding theme. We might be choosing popular styles because we didn't know there was another way. We didn't know there was a way of choosing color that begins with us and radiates outwards rather than the other way around. This show is about learning to work with what you have, the colors already in your skin, hair, and eyes.
Color is all about context and comparison. How we see a color is related to the colors around it. A jacket or a lipstick might look wonderful on one woman and fall completely flat on another. All you need is to know your season or group of natural coloring. That's how you'll know what information applies to you directly and what is for comparison to help you fine-tune your season. So, you do need an in-person PCA or personal color analysis, and you'll find information on how to do that here on Chrysalis. Have a look around on the site, read other people's stories under the More tab, and find an analyst near you under the Color Analyst tab.
You'll be hearing from 2 presenters in this program. The first is me, Christine, coming to you from the East Coast of Canada. I teach aspiring color professionals to be personal color analysts and prepare them for their new career. And I also create some of the tools and resources that they and their clients will use. You can learn more by visiting my website, linked under the Careers tab here at chrysaliscolor.com.
The second voice is me, Jorunn. I'm a 12 Blueprints color analyst based in Norway, and I'm the creator of the Nordic Simplicity line of newsletters with a Scandinavian take on color and style. I also make online courses designed to help women get the most out of their season. Find my websites in English at nordicsimplicity.com, and for Norwegian readers, I have fargeporten.no. Not to worry, we have links to all these in the show notes.
Many of you listening may be familiar with personal color analysis, or PCA, you might hear it called, as Jorunn did. Or you knew it back in the 80s when folks were having their colors done. We would like to give your knowledge the same upgrade that the whole field of color analysis has enjoyed. The artists and the scientists have joined forces to bring you closer than ever before to a communication superpower, one that you already possess. In my work, this is Christine speaking here, my interest is in the information that appearance contains. So basically, what others believe about us by what we wear in clothing, in cosmetics and hair color, and how our choices, they might be saying things that we didn't intend. Look at an image gallery, say on LinkedIn or the Our Team page of a multi-employee business. We don't just think someone's hair color is on or off. We actually consider a relationship, or we skip over their image more quickly because we feel no connection. We'd be less likely to hire them. We might think twice about spending a day with them. We wouldn't introduce ourselves at a party or ask them about themselves. They took their best guess. That's what everybody does without a little more knowledge, as Jorunn and I once did. Ultimately, whether we choose colors for ourselves, a room, a website, what we want is to invite others to know more, to want to know more, to understand us, to feel like they're meeting a friend. Maybe this is entirely new information for you, that a system exists where you can actually know. Imagine being in a store, trying out all these colors together, purchase after purchase, year after year. And then one day, someone walks up to you and says, did you know that choosing and combining colors, it's all been figured out and the system works really well. It works for everybody. You don't have to keep going back to the start or do this yourself every time you go shopping. Now that's a new way to shop. With a little practice, your color choosing skills are going to improve amazingly fast in the first few weeks and for the rest of your life.
I love the way Christine mentions skills, and that knowing your colors is actually a communication superpower. And about understanding it requires an analysis. You know how we analyze the undertone of the skin? I like that too. We examine and bring out what lies beneath the surface of the skin. And this is the part of color analysis that gives me goosebumps. I have a client who is a therapist specializing in identity development and identity-oriented therapy. And she said, Jorunn, you're actually offering identity-oriented color analysis. And I had not thought about it that way, but it is true. On some level, it's all about identity. You know, in the draping, the color analysis, the moments that we say, now this is you, or that the client looks up and says, I look like myself during draping, those are my goosebump moments. And what we do during a draping is comparing. Is this more you? Or is this more you? Well, this is more you, and this is less you. And daring to show yourself as you truly are is at the core of personal color analysis. And Christine, you often say that color analysis is useless if you can't use it to improve your appearance. And in my head, that translates into looking more like yourself. And I couldn't agree more. The value of color analysis is what you do with it afterwards, right? But how? You stand there with all this information in your head and a color fan that's given you. Then what? You don't become an expert at it right away. It takes time. It takes time to grow into your season and use the knowledge. And my mission is to help women put that knowledge into skills. And that's the reason why I send out emails, which you can find out more about in the show notes, and why I create the online courses. I want it to be practical. I want to help the real life woman who's faced with this blouse or that blouse in the shops to pick the blouse that makes her look more like herself, a well-rested, fresh-faced version of herself. Christine and I created this show because we speak on Skype from time to time, and both of us really enjoy these conversations and find them useful. And it dawned on us that this kind of informal conversation is a very different format for communicating about what we both really are passionate about, because we're both mostly using the written word in blog posts and newsletters. And as a change from that, we love these informal conversations about color. So we said, here's a crazy idea. How about if we could turn these conversations into a podcast? And here we are. Topics that we'll cover is stuff like our own approaches to color,
how color can clear the way to true identity,
how we moved through certain questions,
and how we resolved our own appearances.
and we'll be discussing frequently asked questions that we get from readers and clients.
In short, all things useful regarding color analysis and wearing your colors your way.
Welcome to Color Analysis in the Wild. And we do want to hear from you. To contact us with questions or suggestions for future topics, please add your idea in the comment section or send an email to info@chrysaliscolor.com.